Hi, I'm Claire Mann from Communicate 31, and a lot of people come to me and they say, I just find it difficult to say no. Can you help me? Now, I often find in one situation in life they can be very assertive, but in another aspect, maybe with their teenage children for instance, they're unable to say no effectively. Now, when a person decides that they want to say no and they're going to put their foot down and say, this doesn't work for me anymore, often they look at the person and the person asks them and they say, well, no. Of course, the other individual has a quizzical look on their face. They try to talk them out of it. They ask them questions, have they heard enough? Are they sure they want to respond like that? And the person ends up defending themselves and trying to justify why they said no. So what I encourage people to do is, once you've decided, is your word is to be taken seriously. You need to look the person very firmly in the eye and say, do you know, I've given that a lot of thought. And I went through the details, and do you know, on this occasion I'm going to have to say no. But then they need to stop, because often people, when there's a silence or the person looks aghast, they try to defend themselves. Just stay there and allow the other person to respond. Sometimes the person will say, well, okay then. Sometimes they'll tackle them. You don't have to defend yourself by giving more information. What you have to do is to firmly repeat what you've said. I hear what you're saying. I know you've given me the full details of that, but as I said before, this doesn't work for me. I'm going to have to say no. It doesn't matter how many times you've got to say that. Maybe 3 or 4 times you get to a point you think, are they going to get the message here? And you may then reflect that back to them. You know, I seem to be having a problem. You've asked me to do this and I've made it very clear that I'm saying no. And somehow you don't seem to agree with me, or you're trying to get me to change your mind. Is there something I'm not communicating here? When you actually say that, you start to negotiate with them, you put the onus back on them to justify why they're asking you, or why they're repeating the question after you've actually said no. The key thing is that you need to take yourself seriously, and once you learn to say no to other people, you say yes to yourself.